Welcome to Resilience Unplugged, a joint venture of two EU-funded projects called XR2ESILIENCE and MENTASTRESS. Both are concerned with fostering resilience with healthcare workers as well as first responders. In this show, we want to give you a glimpse behind the curtain of who the researchers are that drive innovation, what the team looks like, and what the impact is for the people we do research for. My name is Yvonne Princena. I'll be your host. I'm a communication scientist, media psychologist, and frankly, I love talking to people and finding out new things. Which brings me to my very special first guests, namely Nina Dalkner and Nina Sonderberg. Great having you here. Hi, welcome.
Hi.
Hello, hi.
Now, Nina Dalkner herself is the principal investigator of XR2ESILIENCE. She's a research professor at the Medical University in Graz, and she's currently based in Atlanta in the States, which is very cool. Great to have you here, Nina.
Hello, likewise.
And then we have Nina Sonderberg, originally from Denmark, right now based in Sweden. She herself is the principal investigator of the project MENTASTRESS and a psychotherapist herself. In fact, both have a psychological background, which is going to make this episode even more so juicy, and you'll see why in a second. We have a full-packed program today, 3 different formats that we want to try out. We want to, of course, get to know you as researchers. We want to find out more about the projects you're working on, and then a little something special at the end, but you'll see when we get there. So let's start off with you as the researchers, you as the people behind the research projects. Now, I asked you two to bring along an object, right? An object that represents you as a researcher, you as a person, and what you stand for within the research project that you're working in. Now, Nina D, XR2ESILIENCE, you as the principal investigator, you as a research professor, what did you bring? We're curious.
Okay, thank you, Yvonne. Yeah, I brought this small multicolored massage ball. So you see, it's flexible, adaptive, and constantly in motion. I always see it somewhere in my house. And you see, the different colors represent different aspects of my work. So I'm a scientist, I'm the coordinator, I'm a supervisor, a mentor, I'm communicator, collaborator, of course, event manager, data analyst, team member. So multiple roles that are all connected somehow. And the best thing is sometimes, you can see it here, sometimes this ball lights up. Do you see it?
I love it.
Yeah. So
Cool.
that's, for example, in inspiring conversations, or when a publication got published, or when when I supervise my students, or when our research truly reaches the people. So then I have this uplighting here.
Love it. And I love the colors, by the way. You know, I love all
Thank you.
colors. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. Now, Nina S., mental stress, psychotherapist.
Yeah.
Now, I'm curious to
Yeah.
know what you brought.
Yeah, I'm sad to say that mine is not as colorful as Nina D's. Mine is this rubber band. But what interests me in research is I'm interested in researching in how far people can be stretched without breaking, but also what helps them get back into shape. So for me, working in research is mostly focused on trauma, on resilience, on post-growth trauma also, and it gives me a lot of satisfaction to understand and to focus on things that can actually help people feel better, and also focus on the resources that they have within them already.
So we have a very colorful object, very versatile object, and we have an object that bounces back, which I think very much so connects to our overarching theme of resilience, fostering resilience, right? This is what the two research projects are concerned with. And of course, now that we got to know you two a little better, we want to know a little something about the projects that you are responsible and in charge of as principal investigators, right? And this is the second portion of this show. Again, we wanted to make it a little more juicy. So I asked you to bring along another object to represent, or that represents your research project. Now, because I'm also involved in XR2ESILIENCE, I'm outing myself here. I'm really, really curious to know what Nina D brought to represent XR2ESILIENCE and what XR2ESILIENCE actually is all about.
Yes, absolutely. So for XR2ESILIENCE, there is one thing that firstly came into my mind when I thought about it, and you probably know it already, Yvonne. It's a package of my seeds, of my Austrian seeds. They are very special to me because I brought them from my home country. And those seeds are for a special plant, the Magikraut, the lovage. And that's very important for us when an important ingredient in Austria when you cook beef soup. And why it's special and why it reminds me to XR2ESILIENCE is so when I moved to the US, I cooked my beef soup without it. It was fine. It looked like soup and my family ate it, so all fine. But something essential was missing, and that's what I think about XR2ESILIENCE. So we know that with our project, we can not solve the whole healthcare crisis. So we have burnout, staff shortages, high system pressure. So that would require policy decisions or long-term investments. But we believe that in XR2ESILIENCE, where we try to equip healthcare workers with special resilience tools via extended reality, we believe that we can plant a seed. That's something small, something alive that can grow, and that we can raise awareness, that we can start discussions, and that with such projects we can, start trajectories. And that's why I immediately thought about my lovage seed. So maybe it's like this. So once it is there, you will feel it like in the soup. And we start something and let's see hopefully something meaningful.
That is beautiful. Something that grows out of the research that we do for the healthcare workers. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now, moving on to MENTASTRESS. Nina, you're more concerned with the first responders. What and who are first responders and resilience?
Yeah.
How can you put that in an object? Show us the object and tell us a little more about your project.
Yeah. Well, I brought these two mindfulness balls that you can actually use in your hand to create a little bit of balance and to create a little bit of tactile sense, but also to calm your nervous system. So what we are doing in the MENTASTRESS project is that we're working with first responders who are very good at using the technical tools that they have within their field. But the tools that calms their nervous systems are not necessarily something that are provided for them. So we provide an online training format that is both based on nervous system regulation, stress and resilience based, but it's based in understanding and translating your own symptoms and understanding what triggers you, and then being able to use something also under deployment that actually creates a little bit of pause and a little bit of freedom for the first responders. So a lot of the tools that we have described and also used in the MENTASTRESS project are breathing exercises, breath work, different physical relaxing techniques. And we also have an AR tool that can be used in training. So some very unique and hands-on training situations where the first responders are able to train some of the things that can trigger them, but also can be helpful for them to try out before they are on a deployment. So all this combined gives them a training format that actually helps them to figure out what is difficult for me when I'm during an employment, what can be useful to train after I come home, and what can be useful to train between the deployments that they are experiencing. So all of this is based on novel regulation and teamwork and team communication.
So when you mentioned AR, just for the viewers out there, AR, augmented reality, a little different to the extended reality that is being used or installed in the XR2 Resilience project. And also you talk about first responders. Could you name some of the target groups? Because first responders, that can be a lot. With healthcare workers, we're mostly focusing on nurses, right? But with first responders, who are they? Just like 2 quick sentences on that.
So our target group are first responders in Southern Europe. Mostly all of them are voluntary, working in their free time. And actually, a lot of them are firefighters. Some of them are canine search and rescue. But what's common about them, or what they have in common, is that they all go the extra mile for their communities. And sometimes it has a big mental price for them.
Very much so, like the healthcare workers and the nurses that the researchers are involved with in the XR2 Resilience project. Before we move on to the similarities and differences of the projects, because I think the viewers can also already tell there's like a crossover at many points. I want to first go back to Nina D and XR2 Resilience. There's this one thing I was wondering about, because when we're talking about research, it always seems to be very abstract, right? But when we think about the healthcare workers that we're actually doing the research for and also with, because we're actively including them in our studies, like where in a healthcare worker's daily routine could XR2 Resilience or the results of the project realistically make a difference?
Yeah, that's a wonderful question. At the end, it should make a difference over the whole workday of a healthcare worker. So so our approach is that we believe that resources and resilience is already in the healthcare workers, and that we help them to find their own resources and to train them and to increase them. That's the approach of XR2 Resilience. So it's a personalized approach, a personalized training over 8 weeks. So the healthcare workers can train in 8 dedicated resilience training sessions in the virtual reality, which gives them immersive experience to train. They can interact with their emotions, with their beliefs, with their feelings, and at the end, that should reflect in their whole life, not only in their work, but also in their whole life, to cope with stress, to have more self-awareness, have more mindfulness, to just cope with their everyday situations better. But of course, the stressors are tailored to special problems or stressors that we see in these very special populations. But at the end, it's a training for all, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like something I would love to do, me
You
as
could,
someone who used to play video games, that sounds very much so fun. Now, when we talk about mental stress, you mentioned, Nina S., you mentioned before that the first responders, they give a lot for their communities, and they also risk a lot, basically their lives sometimes, right? Now, within the project, what is one concrete skill or insight that you can share with us that people, and I liked that Nina D mentioned before, it's not just for the nurses, it's tailored towards them in the first instance, but it could be for everyone. So what is one of the skills from your project or insight that everyone could use? All of us.
Well, all of us get triggered in our everyday life. It's difficult to deal with with other people. But it's also one thing that can learn us a lot about ourselves and other people. One thing that is really a key element in the MENTASTRESS project is self-regulation techniques. So we all need them because we all have thoughts that just wander off, and suddenly we are in a loop of not very useful thoughts. So a way of stopping your thoughts, a way of coming back into your body, feeling the ground beneath you, feeling your breath, and letting the breath really give you energy and understanding of where you are right now, and being able to be present. These are techniques that all of us can use in our everyday life. So that's for everybody.
That is very good advice. Advice I should definitely pick up myself. Now,
I think all of us, Yvonne.
Oh yeah, all of us. Yes, that's true. Especially in these times where everything has to go fast and run smooth, right?
Exactly.
Now, like I mentioned before already, and this question is for both of you, so whoever wants to go first, you're very welcome. These two projects, there's quite a few overlaps, but there's also quite a few differences. Now, what do you, as the people in charge, the principal investigators, right? By the way, and I have to put it out there, I love that these two projects are female-led, just stating a fact here. Doesn't happen that often. How do your projects overlap? Where do they overlap? And also, where do they differ? Where do they use different approaches or maybe have different aims, goals?
Well, I can start by saying that, of course, for the MENTASTRESS project, these are for volunteer people that work within this field in their free time. So of course the techniques and the tools that we use, we're very much focused on. This has to be very practical, very hands-on, very much in the moment. What do they need right now? So first of all, we focused on what are the needs, and the needs are actually varied from country to country. We have like 5 different European countries with us, and it's different things that these people need. So I would say that for the Mentors project, it can be used by anybody who work with other people, and all of us have communication and relationships with other people. So I would think that would be one thing that would be different, because of course the nurses in the XR2 Resilience project, it's their job, it's their profession and all that.
Which countries are involved in the MENTASTRESS project?
It's Greece, it's Italy, it's France, and it's Hungary.
Oh, okay.
And Spain. Sorry, 5. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Now, Nina, what's your take on XR2 Resilience and MENTASTRESS and similarities and differences?
Yeah, as you've said, there are many overlaps. So we also have a multi-country project, and we target quite different things. So self-regulation strategies and resilience strategies, stress coping strategies. One difference I would also second is that we have nurses in institutions.
Mm-hmm.
So for our project, it's really important to integrate management and institutions, because that's one result that we already got from our focus group parts, is that nurses are capable a lot, so they want to train their resilience, but they always need support from their working institutions, and that it's crucial to include them, that you include the whole system, and that will require a lot of effort. We know that. However, you cannot change the system or with only the individuals in it, so you need a change within the whole institution, and I think that's one maybe difference here. And yeah, at the end, the overlap is also that we have groups of people who care for others, and that we have to take care for them. And that's
yes.
I think is our common vision here in both of our projects.
Oh, that is
Yeah.
very, very well said. And I love the holistic approaches of both of the projects, right? Because in the end, it's not just research for research's sake. It's research to better other people's lives, but not only the target group's lives. In the end, we can all benefit off of it, right?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Which leads me to our last portion of our first episode, introducing the two projects and the principal investigators of the projects. Now, it's called Rapid Resilience Round. And it's going to be a test for your spontaneity, right?
Oh.
Which means that right now, I'll be asking each of you, alternating. We'll start with Nina D and then Nina S. I will give you the beginning of a sentence, or I'll ask you for just a word, all concerned with our projects that we're working on and with resilience. And I would like you to answer as short as possible, just a word or a sentence, whatever is asked. Okay?
Mhm.
Now,
Okay.
let's start with you, Nina D. Resilience is
Essential.
Nina S. Virtual reality and augmented reality in one word.
Action.
That's a good one. Now, for XR2 resilience, the biggest myth about stress.
The biggest myth about stress is that it's that's a tough one. I don't know what people are actually thinking, but maybe it's that it's only on one level.
Mhm.
So it's on, you see it on different levels: cognitive, emotional, behavioral, bodily.
I told
And-
you this was going to get exciting with psychologists in the room.
Yeah. Sometimes people think stress is just a psychological thing, but it's not.
Yeah. Thank you. Now, MENTASTRESS and the future of mental health research.
Inclusive and participatory.
Mm-hmm. Nina D. One skill everyone, all of us, should train.
Acceptance.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Now, Nina S. Science needs more of.
Women.
Absolutely.
Nina D. Science needs less of.
Don't want to say something wrong. Less of people who just talk and not work.
Okay. That was a very honest one. Thank you. This last one is for the both of you. And we're going to start with Nina S on this one. And really just stick to one word or one expression that you want to use.
Yeah.
One word that describes your project team.
Passionate.
Mm-hmm. Now, Nina D, one word that describes your project team.
Colorful.
I love that one. That is such a nice last word for the last portion of this episode 1. Now, if you out there liked what we did and want to see more of us, we highly invite you to follow our channel. Right down there. It's just a click. It doesn't cost anything, and it would really help us out. Also, give us a like. And, of course, because we're researchers, we're interested in your opinion also. So let us know in the comments, what does resilience mean to you personally? Thank you so much for being here from the States and from Sweden. And also, greetings from Austria, by the way. And see you next time in episode 2.
Thank you so
for
much.
having us.